Mojet, and I'm going to be your wellness partner. Finding out all the things that we need to get better at to help the community and bringing that information, all the different management principles. I want this because I don't want to disappoint anybody. But if I make you angry, then I may be afraid. So I don't want to have to fear your anger a lot more than I can fear your disappointment. And that's a much better relationship. But I don't want to disappoint my mother. But when I'm afraid of her, then that's going to send a different type of message.
We have judge checks your mic.
Okay, now what all do they typically check for when they come to your dog? Like, what's the process like? Like if I'm showing a dog, like what exactly would the judge do? Could you show me?
If you were holding the dog, he would come up and he would come to the side. He would check the bite. He would check to make sure that the bone structure and muscle structure was all there in the right places.
Okay, so you fill them up a little bit.
Fill them up. He make sure the tail was the right length, because if your dog's tail is too short, we understand that you bred something else into him.
Okay, could
or you've done something else.
It's a flaw considered, basically.
It's considered a flaw. Yes.
Okay,
Sir.
and they are so detailed, these competitions. The way a dog's toes are pointed, if it has a lump in his tail, any little thing like that can be considered a hit. So when you have a dog with the right characteristics, breeding that dog is simply going to give you some quality champions if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, the main thing I want the ladies to remember, or anyone, if you find yourself in a dangerous situation and someone confronts you, if you scream loud, that will attract attention.
Right.
Plus, it'll intimidate, because it'll make the person think you're crazy. It'll shock them.
Okay, right.
It's like once you control that mind, you have full control of the body.
My name is Brad Smith, and this is Brad Smith Jr. And I want to talk to the people today about real, genuine father and son love, which I think the world lacks nowadays. And it's also a commitment thing. And I truly believe, because I showed my son real love, he is now what I call a productive human being in today's society. And I love everything about this boy, young man now. I keep saying boy, but I know how it is, but he's a young man. And because I show love to him, and I think he's a better off human being, and he showed love to everybody else that he's around. He's a respectable young man. I taught him to respect other human beings. I don't care who they are, what race they are. I taught him to respect people in general. And I love this thing about him. So if you would ever meet this young man on the street, I guarantee you'll get a handshake and respectable renouncement. Now, also, what I'm really concerned about in today's society on how young men today act, because a lot of men are stereotyped, but it's not about really where you come from, it's truly how you act. So I believe your action speaks louder than words.
Right. And what I have to say on top of that is my father, being a Marine vet, he really taught me about honor and honoring people. And in today's world, I notice even in my job, I'm a music producer, it's lack of honor. And even the younger kids that I work with, because I work with a lot of young men that's 25 years and younger, there's no honor. And that's one of the main things that, even doing a job like that I learned from my father, is it's all about honor and respect and to stay positive. And I just appreciate my dad, keeping me aware of those things and waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning for no reason, and I ain't questioned. So thanks, Dad, for guiding me, and everything he told me has been very valuable to my everyday life and to my children.
And this is a real hug.
One thing that as a father I've talked to my daughters about numerous times is that your body is the most important thing that you have. You can almost consider it the only thing that you really do have. And in terms of growing up and becoming a teenager and considering sexual relationships and things of that nature, you have to consider your body something sacred. And the reason I say that is because when a young lady takes off her clothes, she lays down, opens her legs, those type of things will make you more vulnerable than anything or any time in your life. You're never going to be more vulnerable than at that moment. And to let someone inside of your body and give them the opportunity to leave something there that could shorten your lifetime, that can impregnate you, and have all type of completely life-altering circumstances and repercussions is something you need to take very seriously. And consider that young man. If his parents don't trust him with the car and you're trusting him with your body, is that a good investment? Probably not. That's all I'm saying. So just make wise decisions. And you can tell that it's features are definitely better than the classic American Pit Bull Terrier in terms of its girth and its size. You can have a dog that weighs less than 60 pounds and have an outstanding guard dog, as opposed to a 175-pound dog that takes up too much space in the house.
The American Bully, the very first thing that you will notice that's different from the American Bully to the traditional Pit Bull is its physical size.
Okay.
Its physical size. We call it girth. It's just a bigger dog.
Right.
A lot of people over the years, we haven't got to the bottom of it. DNA has been worked out. Some people say there's Bulldog in them.
Right. Yeah.
There's American Staff in them. There's English Bulldog in them, and there's so many different variations. But what we've come to, and what UK,
when you were younger, okay, there was something that you told people you were going to be, something that you told people you were going to do. Now, if you can visualize that and remember how you felt at that moment, you had energy. You had that kinetic, that potential. Your energy was linked together, and it was movement. It was motivation. It turned into velocity, to speed and direction, because you had a goal that you wanted to accomplish. All I'm asking you today is, where are you along the lines of accomplishing your goal? It's that simple. Is it too late? Because that's all that matters. Either it's too late or you have time to do it. Now, most of the goals that you've made, unless you're like in a sick bed right now, or you're in a hospital, you're in a really bad condition, and you've had some potentially terminally ill changes in your life, there's not a good reason why you can't accomplish those same goals still. Let me put it like this. If you will yourself into doing what you need to be doing, you will accomplish those goals. Now, the difference between a will and a want is very big. Go ask the family of any dead person what's the difference between a will and a want. They'll tell you, well, he wanted this, but it doesn't matter. A will, when you actuate a will and you verbalize it, you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I will do, this is what I will accomplish, that has energy to it. That has motion, that has power. You need to will yourself into a better situation. Will yourself into waking up earlier. Will yourself into spending more time with your family. Will yourself into writing down your objectives, because that's the thing. I've done this so many times myself. I've told myself I was going to do something. I even sat in the conferences, and I've heard people say, write down your 5-year plan. But what did I do? I visualized it. I took a shortcut right off the beginning. They say, write it down. Nope, I just visualized it. I said it to myself. No, write it down. Make it a will, not a want. If it's a will, it'll be recognized and respected by other people, okay? Also, let me say this, because a lot of us have our dreams, our visions, and our goals and our future in other people's hands. Start telling people, start daring yourself. Speak your reality. Speak what you want. Dare them to challenge you. Dare them to say you can't do it, and feed off of it. Don't be so hindered by other people's impression of you that you don't go hard and accomplish what you want to accomplish. You have a vision. God has given you a goal, what you call a dream, but it's actually a vision of you being happy in the life that you want. So I'm going to challenge you right now. And this may sound crazy, but I want you to go have a baby. Yep, I mean it. Go have a baby. And I don't mean physically go have a baby. What I mean now is go and get pregnant with an idea. Get an idea and hold it to you, okay? Do it so much that your whole lifestyle has to change. Your sleep is off balance. You don't get enough sleep anymore. You don't eat the same way. Get pregnant. I guarantee you put 9 months of putting your baby first. You put that baby first, you put some habits aside, you push around cigarettes, push around drinking, push around whatever vices you may have, and make room for your baby, and I guarantee you get 9 months. 9 months of 100%, not 33%, not 8 hours in a day and going to sleep. Especially if you're working for a corporation and that's not attached to your dream and your vision of what you want, then that job don't even count. Those 8 hours are great for making money and keeping it moving, but that's just survival. When you're dreaming, you're talking about reaching to a higher goal. So I want you to go ahead and reach to a higher goal, have that baby, get pregnant with that idea. I don't care if you want to be an engineer, you may want to be a politician, you may want to go to law school, but get pregnant with it right now and let that baby show. When you start showing, when people start seeing you, say, oh my God, he looks like he's pregnant. That's right, I got books with me. You can't even tell how my body's built because I got books and I got notepads and I got an iPad, I got all this stuff with me because I'm pregnant. I have an idea. And all I want to talk about is my baby. Get focused on your idea. Get focused, because nobody's going to care if you don't. Nobody. It's going to sink in. One day you're going to wake up without a mission, without a goal, just a job and errands.